All right, bro. So how much were you able to make in the last 7 days?
Yeah, so last 7 days was around two and a half grand, just off 2.5 grand.
That's crazy, bro. And you did that while still working full time as a plumber.
Yeah, still working full time.
What's good, everyone? Today I'm going to be interviewing my boy Lachy, who is a 20-year-old from Melbourne, Australia. Currently works as a third-year plumber and looked into sales late last year. Today we're going to be breaking down his story and how we gave him the right guidance and the right tools to be able to make 2.5 grand in the past 7 days. Because he's made this money and we've landed him a really good role, he's now able to progress into a better position and make even more fucking money. And very soon we'll be able to leave his job. Without further ado, let's get into it. What's good, everyone? Today I'm joined by my boy Lachy. For the people that don't know you, bro, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm lucky. I'm 20 years old from Melbourne, Australia. I got into sales probably end of last year.
Mhm.
And I currently work as a plumber
Sweet.
in the trade. So doing long hours, working hard.
100%. And what have you been able to get so far, bro? Because you had a pretty decent week not long ago.
Mm.
Tell us a bit about that, where you're at now.
Yeah, so the other week I did in one day about 2.5 grand in one day while working full time.
Yep.
Um, which was probably my biggest day so far.
Yep.
Like yeah, so 2.5 grand in one day. I was doing little bits of money here and there before that,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But yeah, it's obviously a lot harder, while you're in the job
Yeah.
to put in as much like
100%.
all these hours.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I was trying to put 2 to 4 hours a day that I could into my side thing like this into sales. So yeah.
Sweet. 100%. Quickly as well, what are you doing? Like, what's your role? Who are you working for? Explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I work for a social media marketing agency,
Mhm.
which I was doing SDR calling, so
Yep.
dialing people new inbound leads that fill out an opt-in sheet, and I'd
Yep.
pretty much dial them, book them in for a closing call, and then I would take away 10% commission,
Yep.
um, which is obviously a higher commission being an SDR, but I was at the business from the start and know the owner and stuff like that, sort of yeah. So doing
Sweet.
that, and then now I've kind of transitioned into the client success side of things.
Yep.
So looking after the clients, making sure they're getting a the result they paid for,
Mm.
and yeah,
Sweet. And now, because so you started out in sales, obviously you were doing that while working full time as a plumber. Done pretty well. You've worked with the business that you're working with, the SMMA, for a bit of time now. You've shown your loyalty, and now it's like you've moved into a better position where soon you'll transition into full time work, and you'll be able to leave your job soon, right?
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yep.
hoping to at least in the next
Sweet.
month for sure,
Sweet.
like and go all in on this, and it's gonna be good to just be remote, work from home, just
Mm.
have that freedom back. Because obviously being a tradie, like a lot of people know, you're stuck on the job site for 8 to 12 hours in a day,
Yeah.
hard days. None of them are easy.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good feeling. I'm keen for it.
100%. Well, tell us a little bit more about that, bro. Like when you were working your trade, working long hours, I'm sure not getting paid a whole lot being an apprentice. Like, was it always like that for you? Because, you've been an apprentice for like 3 years now.
Mm.
Going into it when you first started it, was it something that you wanted to do? Was it something that you sort of realized midway through that you're like, oh, I don't want to do this forever? Like, where was your head at, prior to even getting into this space?
Yeah, well, obviously, like the thing in Australia, like if you don't go to uni,
Mm.
most people just get a trade or
Yeah.
an office job. But most guys, most blokes just get a trade, and that was kind of the same with me. Like I didn't want to go to uni, and I knew that was a waste. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of just like I was like, I'm gonna go into a trade, give it a shot,
Mm.
and yeah, like I just sort of did it for not really the reason that I wanted to do it, but
Mm.
more the fact that there's nothing else really to do. I
Yeah.
didn't really know anything like I didn't know about any other thing at the time to get into, so I just sort of jumped in.
Exact same story as me. I always think it's so funny that whatever I talk about in content, I usually like attract the same people because it's the exact same story. It was like
Yeah.
dropped out of school, didn't want to go to uni. Typically in Australia, you don't want to go to uni, you go work a trade. You got all these cunts that end up just jumping in a trade because they don't know what else is out there. They
Mm.
don't know what is even possible, right? But what landed you? into sales out of all things because there's so many different options out there. You got drop shipping, you have SMMA, you have a SaaS or crypto or day trading, whatever the fuck it is. I mean, what lent you more into learning sales out of all things?
Well, I did give like drop shipping a little crack before I hopped into sales,
Mm,
and like I didn't really give it my all, and like I made like a tiny bit of money, nothing crazy.
mm,
And I kind of just gave up on it because it was just like I had real no idea. I didn't really had no one there to teach me, no one there to show me, the ways to do it.
no,
And then look, I came across, your content and saw that, you have this freedom, you have this time. Just yeah, I just got interested in that.
no,
Reached out to you. And yeah, got a mentorship and then here we are now. And like I feel like the mentorship was a big part of it because like without that, you're kind of just doing it on yourself and you got real no idea
yeah,
of where to go. Like I don't reckon I would have made any money by now if I didn't hop into something where they can teach me their ways and teach me how they did it themselves.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much how I laid it down for you.
100%.
But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's always possible to do it on your own, but it's like getting mentorship or some type of guidance is just essentially buying back your time in a way because you
mm,
can figure it out on your own for sure, but it's going to take a hell of a lot longer. And it's like if you want the result, if you want to get out of your job ASAP, it's almost so much easier to be taught by someone who knows what they're doing. Be taught by
exactly.
someone who's been in the space for 10, 20, 30 years, whatever the fuck it is. And it's just like, when you first start out as an apprentice,
Mm,
having a tradesman there, having your boss there that's, showing what you're doing wrong, showing you the correct way to go about things, makes it so much easier for you to learn how to fucking start plumbing or build fucking frames or whatever the fuck it is.
exactly. Exactly. And like, yeah, like just imagine just going into the trade, by yourself as an apprentice, not knowing any idea what to do.
Yeah.
It'd take so much longer to actually realize what you're doing and how to do it. So I feel like it's a big part of, having someone there for you that's yeah, showing you the route, showing you the way they did it,
Mm.
and just go from there.
100%. I hate that people love to say that this shit's super easy and it's super quick to learn. Like, tell us some of the struggles you had
Mm.
because I don't think anyone's come up stories easy. And I know you've had your fair few
Yeah.
struggles and times where you're like, fuck, man, like, is this going to work out? So on and so forth. Like,
Mm.
tell us a little bit about your journey and like how you got here, things that you potentially went through, how you kept going, things like that.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, I hate that as well. People think it's, so much easier than it actually is.
Mm,
Like I got into the space, kind of mid to late last year.
mm,
And I haven't, I didn't see results for months on end, and
mm,
I put in the work and didn't see any results.
mm,
And it all just comes down to like consistency and just sticking to the plan because like it will get hard and most people give up when it gets hard, but if you stick
mm.
to it, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and you will actually get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
But for me personally, obviously working in the trade, it was a lot harder to have the time to put into it.
Mm,
So especially with my offer that I first got on, so I'd wake up at 4 a.m.,
yeah.
dial for a couple hours, go
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
10 hours,
Yeah.
come home, go to the gym, and then maybe dial a little bit, and then head to bed.
Mm,
I was doing that for days on end, weeks,
mm,
trying to make it work.
mm.
And look, it's not easy. Like
Yeah.
it's really not easy. But if you keep sticking to it and you don't give up on yourself,
Mm.
you'll make it happen, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Exactly. This isn't a, wake up tomorrow and you'll be rich situation
Mm,
ever. No matter whether it's sales or drop shipping or whatever the fuck it is. It's always gonna be a period where you're working your fucking ass off. There's gonna be times where you feel like you're putting in as much effort as you can and you're not getting the results you're looking for just yet. But like you said, it's
mm,
consistency. It's sticking with it no matter what happens. I mean, for you,
exactly.
do you feel like going through that period was all worth it? Like especially where you're on track to get to now, bro?
Yeah, 100%. Like you need to go through that struggle period to actually,
Mm.
you build as a person, you build more character. You learn. Like at the start of this, I couldn't even speak a sentence, bro. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't even talk to people.
Yeah.
I'd always get that nervous hopping on any calls or talking
Yeah.
to anyone. Like I
Yeah.
was, some people come into this like, good speakers already, and those people, they might progress faster than you,
Mm.
but if you just stick with it and keep pushing, you'll get there as well. Like
100.
yeah, that's why it's taken me a bit longer, but
Yeah.
you just got to stick to it. Like
100, bro. Hard work beats talent. I
exactly.
fucking was the exact same. Like, I grew up pretty introverted, never really liked speaking to people much at all.
Mm,
But it's a skill you can learn. It's like, I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm not good at speaking to people, and then just think, oh, I'm going to rule out sales entirely. It's like, you can get good at this shit. It just is going to take you a little bit longer. You don't need any
exactly.
like particular skills or any background experience. You just need to be willing to learn and be willing to
Mm,
stick with it, right?
exactly. Yeah, like that was the same with me. Like when I first got into it, like a month in, I
Mm.
was thinking the same thing. Like, can I even get good at this? Can I
Yeah,
even,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually communicate with people? Because I was so bad at it.
Mm.
But it just takes the work you put in. Like that's all it is. The work you put in, you stick to it, stay
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%, bro. 100%. Well, with where you're at now, obviously making decent money, you're going to be a client success rep or client success manager
yeah.
now. What sort of your goals for the future, man? Obviously, one would be leaving your job soon in the next few weeks to a month. From there, like what about financial goals? What about, traveling or what's the plan in the future?
Yeah, well, the start of this year, my goal was to hit 30K a month.
Mm,
That's my goal, like for this year specifically.
mm,
Um, like we're nearly out of my job now, so that's going to be checking off one of the goals as well.
100.
Um, but from there, yeah, just keep scaling, get as much money as I can. Keep pushing, keep learning new skills like this client success side, and just keep pushing for more money and also the freedom as well. Because like it's just going to be such a different feeling,
Yeah,
not having to wake up a certain time to
yeah,
go to
yeah,
my
yeah,
job and,
yeah.
be able to have my own schedule set up,
Mm,
not just, work around someone else. So
100%.
that's a huge part of it for me.
Mm,
And also, I'd say, also progressing in maybe communication even more,
yeah,
keep learning,
yeah,
keep upscaling. It's kind of my goals for this year.
yeah.
And then, yeah, from there on, to keep pushing forward and,
100.
yeah, keep making it happen, really.
I think I think everyone's initial goal is 10K a month. I reckon you're on track. At least by
Yeah.
the end of the year. At fucking least.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But 30K a month onwards, bro.
I just aimed high. Yeah. I was like, I know everyone wants to get this 10K, so do I.
Yeah.
But, if you shoot for the sky, you'll land in the clouds. So
Yeah.
that's my
100.
sort of thinking.
Yeah.
So I just aim for that high number.
Yeah.
But
Of
yeah,
course. 100%. Could you give some advice, bro, for someone that's potentially looking into this space, maybe someone that's been in a similar situation to you? What's like one piece of advice you could give to them? Maybe if they're on the fence, they may be thinking about it. Something that you could tell your younger self prior to getting into here.
hmm, honestly, like just make the leap. Like take that leap. If your mind's telling you, you want to have this freedom, you want to have this money, you want to live this good life and not be, in the trades. Like my thought was, I don't want to be in the trades for 40 plus years,
Yeah.
50 plus years,
Yeah.
have a miserable life, then retire, and then just have that feeling of regret. Being
Yeah.
like, I could have done it, I could
Yeah.
have done this. So my advice would be just take the leap, man. Give it a shot. Take a risk. Like there's no harm in taking a risk, man. Because look, at the end of the day, if you do fail, which you won't fail if you keep pushing. If you keep pushing and don't give up, you won't fail.
Exactly.
But say you do, you'll be in the exact same position that you were, and all these other people are, in that job.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. It's like, can you realistically live with yourself? Like, if you know in your mind that you could do more, it's like,
Mm,
can you live with yourself of never even trying, never even making an attempt at hitting that potential, getting to that person that you know you can become, but
mm,
you'd rather be comfortable because it's so much easier. And
exactly.
like you said, it's like worst case scenario, you just end up like everyone else.
Mm,
Nice.
exactly. And like while you're young, even if you're a bit older, you still got time to
Yeah.
take that risk to try something out at least.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't see how all these people are just, working their jobs their entire life and not actually trying anything, not trying to, they don't have dreams, they don't have stuff they're pushing for, which, you should have, like
100.
something everyone needs to have.
100%. 100%. Well, thanks, bro, for your time. Thanks for hopping on.
No worries, man. Thank you.
Now that was Lachy's story of where he started, what he's been able to accomplish, and where he's headed to now. If you want to get access to the same training and mentorship that Lachy got, as well as myself, I'll put a link in the description to book in a call with myself or my team. But for now, if you want to learn a little bit more about sales, I'll put a link in the description to my 1 hour free course. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram. But that's enough from me for now. Thank you guys for watching and take care of yourselves.